Hey guys, Mike here with another deck profile, and today we're covering my Edison deck, which if you follow our Friday night duel nights, you've probably seen me play a few times. We're all new to Edison here at the channel. I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2008 and only came back about 2 years ago, so all of these cards are pretty new to me, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. So I'm playing Twilight, which is mostly just dark monsters mixed with Lightsworn, which is what I played before I quit. And let's get into it. So the main reason why I like this deck are these two guys right here. If you've seen my GOAT profiles, you know I really like the Chaos monsters, and I really like Dark Arm Dragon. He's a really fun card, and I remember enjoying him when I was a kid. So the other dark monster we're playing is Triple Chaos. Pretty self-explanatory. This card is really good in Edison, and it's especially good when you're playing Twilight because you have all the dark monsters and he's another dark to throw in your graveyard. Now we'll go into the Lightsworns. We've got 3 Lila. You don't need MST because you've got Lila. She's really good at getting rid of spells and traps. She's useful for Celestia, and she mills 3, which is really nice for fueling Dark Arm Dragon and Chaos Sorcerer. 3 Raikou seems to be played in a lot of decks in Edison. Pops something, mills 3, really good. And then to end out the Lightsworns, run 1 Celestia and 1 Wolf. Celestia is good for popping things, kind of like Lila and Raikou, but she can pop more and she mills for 4. And Wolf, you mill a lot, so the odds of hitting Wolf and summoning him are decent. Now for your non-Lightsworns, we've got 2 Hamsters. Hamster is pretty much just to go into Raikou. It being 4 stars is nice for synchros, I've noticed, but that's really it. Now onto the singletons, we've got Sangan, Gores, Necrogardna. Our tuners are Plague Spreader and Gale the Whirlwind, and then our just kind of random picks, Card Trooper. Card Trooper's good for milling, and when he dies, he draws you cards. That's pretty nice. And Spirit Reaper, another dark monster. If he connects enough times, it pretty much ends the game, and he's hard to beat over sometimes, which is nice. Alright, we'll go on to the traps, because there's less of those. Mirror Force, pretty self-explanatory, most decks run it. 2 D-Prisons, really nice. I like that card in this format a lot. And 2 Bottomless Trap Holes. And now spells. We've got Allure of Darkness. You run enough darks to play it, so you will. Charge of the Light Brigade, limited to 1 really powerful spell, gets you your Lightsworns, and it has awesome synergy, obviously, with Solar Recharge, which is probably your best draw spell in the deck, and it helps fuel your graveyard, which is really nice. And we've got 2 Book of Moons. Really nice, resets your Raikous, and it can be used offensively or defensively, since you can flip an opponent's monster to be able to crash over it, or flip your monsters to prevent something that targets face up from destroying that card. 2 Pot of Avarice. I love this card. It's really good in this deck. It helps you mess with your graveyards, that way you have 3 darks. It's also one of your, well, not one of, your only way to get back Dark Arm Dragon. So I often find myself just kind of camping these in my hand until I mill either Chaos Sorcerer or Dark Arm Dragon, and then I buy them all back, unless I need card advantage. And then the last 4 are Upstart Goblin, Foolish Burial, Brain Control, and Heavy Storm. Upstart, just a nice draw spell, makes my deck 39 cards. Foolish I really like because the common targets with it are either Plague Spreader or Wolf. Plague Spreader to make a quick synchro play. Wolf is nice because he's either a beater or he can instantly let you go into a Caius or a Celestia, so it's a pop, which is pretty nice. Brain Control doesn't need much need to be said about it, same with Heavy Storm. Alright, we'll go into my synchro deck. It's pretty standard. Armory Arm, Ally of Justice Cataster, Magical Android. And then for the 6s, we've got Bryonic, Goyo Guardian, and Tempest Magician. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about her. It doesn't always seem the most necessary. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I have debated on cutting her a number of times. Arcanite Magician, Black Rose Dragon, and Blackwing Armor Master. Honestly, he might be my favorite in the whole extra deck. I really like that you can just play him and kind of sit on him, which I've done on a few of my matchups on camera, I believe. just because he's nice to be able to sit there and he can't be beaten over with combat damage, and he's a dark, so if he ends up in your graveyard, even better. Avenging Knight Parshath, Colossal Fighter, then we've got Red Dragon Archfiend, Stardust Dragon, Thought Ruler Archfiend, and Mistworm. It's pretty standard. I'm not going over exactly when to use all of these because, to be honest, I'm still learning. Like, for instance, I've never used Parshath yet. I hope to at some point, but since we're really new to this and I wasn't playing during this era, there's a lot of cards I'm just not entirely sure about. Going on to my sideboard, and kind of like my extra deck, this is something that I found online, and I have edited it a little bit, but until I know more about the format, I just kind of go with what people who are smarter than me say. So we've got 3 Legendary Jujitsu Master, 1 Swallow Flip, and 2 Pulling the Rug. As opposed to one of these, I've debated about running the 1 Solemn Judgment you can in this format, mostly because I like Solemn Judgment and it seems a little more useful. Again, like I said before, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong and that I shouldn't play Solemn Judgment, because I don't always know. 2 Royal Oppression. There was one in the main board in the list I found, but I replaced it with Foolish Burial, and so here it is in the sideboard. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this for a long time, because it can negatively affect me, but it's just so good I feel like I need to run it. 2 Needle Sealing. It's a decent board wipe. 3 Mirror of Oaths. I'm really going to like this when Jay finishes his Gladiator Beast deck, because this is just going to be really brutal, and that's going to be funny. And then 2 System Down. No one currently in our playgroup has machine decks at all, so I might end up needing to put this up to 3, like it was in the sideboard I found online, but since no one plays machines right now, I didn't really feel the need to do it. So yeah, that's my Edison deck. I've really liked playing this. I wasn't sure if I was going to, because I originally quit when Synchros came out, because I didn't really like how, at least when they first came out, every deck was trying to do the same thing, or that's what it felt like. But Edison, I really like how the extra decks feel almost like a toolbox. Like, for those of you who've played Magic, honestly, the extra decks remind me of a pod deck a lot, and I really like that aspect, how they're not the main way to win, they're just a toolbox of things that you can access, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, that's my Edison deck. I really like it. I really like Chaos Monsters. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you like the deck.